Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Jai Gurudev. Dr. Mara, you can get started.
Okay. Are we starting from 51, right?
Yeah, you can just do maybe the last two paras of 50 and then.
Sure. Okay. Is this exercising discretion in one's choices? In this verse, we are told that with reference to our actions, we must use our discretion, kausala. What is not to be done is avoided, and what is to be done is done properly. And any action we do is done with the attitude that it is our offering to the Lord. Ishvara Arpana Buddhaya. This is yoga. Discretion then is with reference to the choices involved in action and involves one's appreciation of Ishvara as well. So I'm going to read this paragraph one more time. In this verse, we are told that with reference to our actions, we must use our discretion, kausala. What is not to be done is avoided, and what is to be done is done properly. And any action we do is done with the attitude that it is our offering to the Lord. Ishwararpana Buddhaya. This is yoga. Discretion then is with reference to the choices involved in action and involves one's appreciation of Ishvara as well. Oh, God, where did it go? Oh. This page is what happened. This one got smaller. Oh, Jesus.
Are you sharing from the mobile or laptop?
From the laptop only, but I'm not sure why it happened here.
You can zoom in so that it will increase the
Oh.
magnify.
Oh, yeah. I can't believe this. This page keeps moving and where is this view kind of? I'm seeing the screen, but yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my God. So what did he say, Dr. Brahma? I did make the screen bigger, but then this, oh, let me see.
I didn't understand what your concern was.
The
Yes.
screen, you can see the screen now, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. Inaction is not going to solve the problem, even though we will see later that sannyasa is referred to as giving up all actions. Sarva karma sannyasa. Something that is not physically possible. Even a greater jnani performs actions. There are swamis, sitting swamis, standing on one leg swamis, and many other swamis, all of which imply actions. No one can avoid action totally. The renunciation of all karmas is strictly in terms of knowledge. By knowing that he or she is not the performer of any action, a jnani is said to have given up all action. So, by knowing that he or she is not the performer of any action, a jnani is said to have given up all action. Thus, a person who has this knowledge of Atma is called Sarva Karma Sannyasi. Krishna was telling Arjuna here that Sarva Karma Sannyasa has nothing to do with inaction. It has concerns only with the knowledge. This knowledge can only take place in a person whose mind is clear, Siddha. Such a person is either a karma yogi or a sannyasi, a person who has taken to the life of renunciations. Knowledge is possible for both sannyasis and karma yogis. Krishna told Arjuna that while a choice between yoga and sannyasa is possible, he did not think Arjuna was ready for sannyasa. That meant, according to Krishna, that Arjuna was ready only for karma yoga. Therefore, as we saw in verse 48, Krishna told Arjuna, Arjuna, remaining steadfast in yoga and abandoning attachment, perform actions. Yogastha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya. How could Arjuna live the life of sannyasi, a life of contemplation, when he was emotionally involved with his own people? Like others who have too many irons in the fire, Arjuna had too many arrows in his quiver. Therefore, it would be better if he exhausted them all and see what was to be done. Further, Krishna said, so do you want to do Manana on this, Dr. Brahmara, before we move on?
Yeah, I think we did it yesterday. We can
Yesterday,
continue with 51. Yeah.
51, okay. कर्मजं बुद्धियुक्ता हि फलं त्यक्त्वा मनीषिणः जन्मबन्धविनिर्मुक्ताः पदं गच्छन्ति यानमयाम्. Sorry, यानमयम्. Yeah. Buddhi yuktaha, those who are endowed with proper attitude of karma yoga. Manisinaha, the wise. Karmajam, that which is born of karma. Phalam, result. Tyaktva, giving up. janma bandha vinirmuktaha, free from the bondage of birth. Janma bandha vinirmuktaha, free from the bondage of birth. Anamayam, free from all affliction. Padam, that which is accomplished by knowledge. Moksha, sorry, okay. Padam is that which is accomplished by knowledge. Moksha, he indeed. Gachanti, go to. Buddhi yuktaha manisinaha karmajam palam tyaktva janma bandha vinirmuktaha anamayam padam hi gachanti. The wise endowed with the attitude of karma yoga, having given up the results of action, free from the bondage of birth, indeed accomplish the end that is free from all affliction. I'll read this again. The wise endowed with the attitude of karma yoga, having given up the results of action, free from the bondage of birth, indeed accomplish the end that is free from all affliction. Suppose a karma yogi gains knowledge. So, suppose karma yogi gains knowledge, uh, and thereby gives up all karma palas, that is, all the punya papas, the good and the bad. Does that not mean that person is empty, possessing nothing? So, does that not mean the person is empty, possessing nothing? Will he or she then be a nobody? At least if such a person had gathered a lot of punya, he or she would have been an entity to be reckoned with. But now it seems that person will be empty. This assumption is refuted in the present verse. People who are endowed with the karma yoga buddhi first gain antakarna shuddhi. Then knowledge takes place, which results in giving up of punya and papa. And giving up the punya and papa, as mentioned in the previous verse, karma palam tyaktva. Karma palam tyaktva, that's a giving up the karma pala. He gains moksha through knowledge. First line here is the restatement of the previous verse and connects it with the previous verse and tells that the karma yogi also gains moksha eventually. Okay, I'll read this paragraph one more time. People who are endowed with the karma yoga buddhi first gain antakarna shuddhi. Then knowledge takes place, which results in the giving up of punya and papa. And giving up the punya and papa, as mentioned in the previous verse, karma palam tyaktva, he gains moksha through knowledge. The first line here is the restatement of the previous verse and connects it with the previous verse and tells that the karma yogi also gains moksha eventually. So, birth is bondage. How do karma yogis give up the results of action? A karma yogi having sameness of mind towards the desirable and undesirable results of all actions is said to give up the results and in time becomes wise. Such a person gains self knowledge and is called a manishi. He is called a Manishi or a Jnani. Having become a Manishi, the person becomes free of the bondage of birth. He becomes Janmabandha Vinirmukta. Janmabandha Vinirmukta. Then the doership is not there. The result of action will also be not there. The result of punya papa is birth, janma, which itself is a bondage. You cannot say that you are only bound after birth. You are bound inside the womb. No matter how much you twist and turn, you have to wait 9 months before you can come out. Thus, bound, you are born. Once you are born, you are also bound in that you have to wait at least another 18 years to have a life of your own. After that, of course, you are bound to 100 different things. Therefore, birth is a bondage all the way. From this bondage of birth, the wise are liberated. Shankara makes it quite clear that liberation does not happen after death. So Shankara makes it quite clear here that liberation does not happen after death, but while you are living. He says, Jivantaha eva vinirmuktaha. Jivantaha eva vinirmuktaha. While living, they are liberated. Unless you are liberated now, while you are alive, you are not going to be liberated later when you are dead. All that you can be is a ghost. If you are liberated here, there will be no problem to yourself or to others. But if you are not liberated and you become a ghost, you will be just another entity knocking around for people to channel through. Here in the world, you confused people by giving wrong advice and so on. And then later, as a spirit, you come through the channels continuing to give out wrong information. Hmm. I didn't get this part. Here in the world, you confused people by giving wrong advice and so on. And then later, as a spirit, you come through the channels continuing to give wrong information. Thus, it was said that while you are alive, you are completely freed from the bondage of birth and death, commonly referred to as cycle of samsara. You may say that you do not care whether you are born again. If it happens, fine. And if it does not happen, that too is fine. You are only interested in right now. You are not interested in you're not interested in any investment of for later, since no one knows what later really is. After death, all you see are the ashes, nothing more. And if the body is not cremated, it is buried deep enough that there is no chance of your coming out, even if life is still there. Grass will be planted on top so that there will be no chance of oxygen reaching you. This you know very well. Whatever happens after death is all a matter of belief alone. Some logic may be there, but still it is only a belief. So whatever happens after death is all matter of a belief alone. Some logic may be there, but still it is only a belief. I am only interested in what happens here. I do not care if my karma palas go or not. How do I know if punya papa is really there for me? Therefore, I do not care about all this, but I do care about my harmony with the world, and I can understand the value of sameness of mind towards the results of action and discretion with reference to the choices involved in my actions. These things are all very clear to me, but please do not tell me that I will be freed from birth and death. I do not care about all that. I am only interested in what I can get now. This could be an argument. This is being answered now. So, do you want me to repeat anything before I move on? One second. Liberation is not after death. This verse tells us that what we accomplish here while we are alive, not in the form of sense gratification, but in terms of pursuit that is meaningful in this life itself. The word pada here means that which is to be accomplished. It also means a word that by which something is known. Mere sound is not pada. From the word, a given object must be understood. What I say, you must be able to understand. Then only is there a language. The word has a meaning, and that meaning is understood by everyone. Any word in any language is a pada. It is not used in this sense here in this verse. Here it means that which is accomplished by knowledge. So the pada means here accomplished by knowledge, which is to be accomplished by knowledge. The word pada is, in this sense, is famous in Sanskrit literature. For example, there is a mention Vishnuho paramam padam. I know, and it's in English, which pa is, I don't know. Vishnuho paramam padam, meaning the greatest abode of the Lord Vishnu, the one who is all pervasive. That all pervasive Vishnaho Padam is moksha, liberation or freedom, and that freedom is gained now while living. Vishnaho Padam, Paramam Padam, Vishnaho Paramam Padam. In the verse understudy, Pada is it Pada or Pada? I'm not sure here how it's said.
It is pada. If there is a
Pada.
line on top, then you have to drag it. Otherwise, it's pada.
Yeah, I know, but when you
So
read for
Vishnu
Vishnu,
padam. It's not padam, it's padam.
oh really?
Padam will mean a foot, whereas
Yeah.
padam is the goal,
Oh,
the abode.
Paramapadam. Is that
Mm.
okay? That was Paramam Padam.
Pada.
Yeah. I kind of read it Padam because we surrender to the Padam only, right? So that's why I read it that way. Okay. So Padam. Got it. So in the verse understudy, Pada is qualified by another word, Anamaya. Any problem is called Amaya. Amaya. Anamaya is defined by Shankara as that which is free of all problems, sarva upadrava rahita, free of all problems. This includes all the problems starting from nagging onwards. Any kind of affliction is called upadrava. Thus, anamaya means that you are free from all afflictions. I am afflicted is a notion that everyone has. I am a product of my own past, and therefore I am afflicted. Everyone has this notion about himself or herself, and from this notion, the person becomes free. So, we all have this thing about affliction. Afflicted, so you are free from all this, the person becomes free. One second, let me see. Knowing that I am the limitless Brahman, I am not afflicted by anything because there is nothing other than Brahman. There is nothing else to afflict me. Therefore, I am free of all afflictions. Again, I'll read this line. Knowing that I am limitless Brahman, I am not afflicted by anything because there is nothing other than Brahman. There is nothing else to afflict me. Therefore, I am free of all afflictions when while living here in the world. This knowledge then is I don't know why it's not moving forward. Moving forward, really something. Okay. Then is really something. It is more than just something. It is the thing. And whatever we do is, one second, I will enlarge it so you can see better. Okay. Whatever we do is only for the purpose of gaining this knowledge of oneself. In the next verse, Krishna told Arjuna that he would attain this when his mind was no longer deluded. So, Krishna told Arjuna that he would attain this when his mind was no longer deluded. So, we are done with this one. Let me go back to this one. So, guys can do Manana and the 51 verse. Or if you want me to repeat anything, please let me know. Hmm. So we read about the how the karma yoga is leading to moksha. The birth is bondage, and the liberation is not after death. It happens now. So maybe we can read this sloka one more time. कर्मजं बुद्धियुक्ता हि फलं त्यक्त्वा मनीषिणः जन्मबन्धविनिर्मुक्ताः पद पदं गच्छन्ति यान अनामयम्. So karmajam is that which is born of karma. So when you do the karma with the buddhi yuktaha means with the proper attitude of karma yoga, that you give up the karma pala, then you get the antakarana siddhi. Then with the antakarana siddhi, that uh, knowledge happens. And that leading to moksha. So the karma yoga lead to the moksha. Then janma bandha vinirmuktaha, that released you from the bondage of the birth. And then, yeah, that's pretty much when the bondage of birth and death, and free from all afflictions.
So this verse is only reiterating the fact that uh, it is again only after knowledge that you will be liberated. So a karma yogi does not give up karma phala unless he is affected by the karma phala, punya, papa, and all that. But because he has the doership. But once knowledge dawns and that the doership is gone completely,
Right.
there is no difference between him and Ishvara. And then there is only Ishvara. So there is only that Advaita there. So then there is no question of karma phala. So then that is liberation. So that happens with the dawn of knowledge and not just by leaving the physical body.
Yeah, that liberation happens in this life, not after death. That are
Yes.
also mentioned
Yeah.
clearly here.
Yeah.
And like you said, that you do it with that attitude, with that kaushala, like that action is done with the discretion, and that leads to the antakarna shuddhi. And of course, like we do reap the results of action, but that goes away when then attaining that knowledge. I forgot that part. Tekva Dhananjaya. Mm. Oh, that was from previous verse. So same
Also,
thing. Yeah, go ahead.
no, please go. Go ahead.
No, no, he mentioned the same thing in the previous verse. Like he mentioned that the first line of this verse is continuation from the uh, previous verse, which is what we read yesterday also, right? The karma yoga done with that attitude and with kaushala, like that lead to the knowledge. And the sannyasis also get to that part with free of those karma, but then that's a different path. But both eventually lead to the this moksha.
Yeah, the only thing, even yesterday we talked about it, was in order to be a karma yogi, there are few criteria. One is to have this kushala, discretion in the choice of action. Second is to take whatever result comes with that samatva bhavana.
Right.
But just by doing that, you'll just be an ethical person, right? So there is also the third quality required is to recognize Ishvara.
Ishvara.
So my question yesterday was, how do we bring this aspect
Ishvara in everything,
in
right?
everything? Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe
Yeah.
we can share from keeping that in mind. Or anybody else wants to add or ask?
I
Hariom.
think, go ahead.
No, no, you go ahead, Dr. Mara.
No, I think when we're doing it, when we're doing with that attitude, we are doing it for God. Everything we do, uh, like we have to think our home itself like a temple. Everything you do is for God. In that, sense like you do, of course, every moment of it, it doesn't come to me, but again, when I'm doing it, it does feel that way. And then in the night before going to bed, I trying to remember to say that Kayana Vasa, that one, so that's how I'm getting it. Like, I am not say there every moment. I am not able to remember it all the time.
Yeah. What I recollect from what Swami Suryapada ji had mentioned was bringing in the yajna bhava. Like everything is an offering unto him. Just like how you do a yajna, how do you do a ritual or a puja?
Right.
There, yes, because you have the deity in front of you, or you have everything. The situation is there, so automatically you get Ishvara into your awareness. But translating that into every other action, for that you will have to have a sense of complete awareness, because otherwise the mind can slip into its own unconscious patterned behavior.
Yeah.
Where we do things just mechanically without that awareness. So I think two things. One is doing it with the yajna bhava, and second is doing it 100%. When you're doing anything 100%, when you're putting in that focus and doing it 100%, your mind is there. You're completely aware. So, yeah.
I just wanted to share, like, I was listening to one of the Shivanis, like the Brahm Kumaris. So what she said was so beautiful that after every hour, if you can just close your eyes and just in a form of meditation, not it's not that you are sitting in that posture, but you close your eyes and you introspect. Like, if you be with yourself, then I think that is how we can always connect with that Ishvara, offering everything to him. And like, this is one of the practical way which we can do that abhyasa, remaining in silence for 2-3 minutes, and just that be taking everything as it is coming and offering your all your actions, whatever you are doing, in that bhava. Ishvara Arpanam Buddhi. One way is this, and the second is that when we do the ajapajap, that then also somewhere that mantra, it keeps you centered, and it helps you be in a positive and this Ishvara Arpana Buddhi. It helps you to not to deviate from your course of action, because the thought process is the same. We want to live with a that set of mind, like no negative thoughts be there, and accepting whatever it is coming. It is what accepting as it is, like not complaining or not revolting, and accepting the things, and then doing your own action 100%, as you said, with an offering bhava, that this is the maximum I can do in this situation. It can be any professional or like our own materialistic world, family. So taking a pause while living in day-to-day life, I think I was contemplating on that generally we forget while doing some work, we forget that Ishvara part, we start, all our efforts are going on. They are 100% definitely. But what is missing is that connection with that Ishvara, with that Ishvara Arpana Buddhi is missing. Like I am talking of myself, it gets missed. So what like as you were put this question, I had this question. It is there since many years, but what happened is that we forget. So that is why I took to a japa jap, but a japa jap also sometimes vanishes,
What is
because
Aja
when
Paja means?
you are continuously a mantra is, you are reciting it mentally inside. It
Oh,
is it goes to such an extent that even like I'm talking with you, that mantra is happening. It goes to
mm,
that extent also. Like
mm-hmm.
it keeps on going in your consciousness. So that connects you uh, with that Ishvara, and it also gives you that energy, that the the energy to perform all your actions without any fear, without any like you want something out of that desire to that your actions should be reciprocated, like so it helps in many ways.
The
And
only thing I can think of is that um, inside every one of us, like that Atma, where the Chaitanya is residing. So when we are doing it to even person to person, when we see them as that kind of, um, uh, then we don't need to separately thinking about God all the
yes,
time. We are
yes, but
thinking all as
this,
a God.
yeah,
Everything is God. Then eventually that we go with that bhavana, doing everything with that bhavana, like she mentioned about yajna bhavana.
yeah,
So when that only way I can remember this. That's why
yeah,
I feel. I mean, we cannot. We think God is something separate from us. Then it becomes
difficult.
it's not Advaitic nature, right? Like, so
Yeah,
we. So
you are very right.
that's the only thing I can come up with this constantly when we're doing things, how we remind ourselves everything is God, so we are doing it for everything is for God. So
Yeah,
that's
that samatva bhav, but that samatva bhav, it doesn't come easily. It also comes only
true.
after a long, that being in knowledge, practicing yourself, cleaning yourself, that until and unless that antakaran shuddhi is not happening, then
True.
samatva will not come.
Yeah.
It's
But
all
more or less
interlinked.
now, at least when you're doing things at home or even at work, like you want to respect yourself, like how you want to, there we read it yesterday or day for also, you want things to be done, whatever you want it to be done for you is done for others. Not wanting to be done for you is not wanting to do it for others. So in that way we are having that samatva bhavana, which is that's where that comes, I think. Anyway, sorry, I didn't want to, everybody can share, please.
Also, I think bringing in that respect and valuing everything around us. See, how would we value and respect the deity? Supposing we have a murti of some, an idol of um, a deity, say Ganesha or Krishna. How do we value that? How do we respect that? We give it a lot of respect. So the same thing, if we can translate to people, objects around us. This is what we teach Art Excel children. We tell them respect for self is respect for others. We ask them to respect just as we respect animals and human beings. We respect also things like your school bag and your shoes. And so I think bringing in that aspect of respect and valuing everything, when we bring in that aspect of respect and the samatva, this, then automatically it is not Ishvara as a deity. Your the attitude you have with respect to every other, whether it's a human being, whether it's another living being, whether it's a tree or an animal or an insect, you will then slowly get that samatva bhavana. Then also think this aspect of recognizing Ishvara in all of creation will happen. So, but this has to be reiterated again and again, because this is not how we see the world. We see the world as plurality. We see each one different from the other, which is required for us to function, no doubt. But beyond that plurality, if we are able to recognize that the unity in that diversity, the sameness in everything, that yatah pravrittir bhutanam ena sarvam idam tatam. So that which is, and bringing into our knowledge that the creator is not different from the creation, because he is not just the nimitta karana, he is also the upadana karana. So I think it is a combination of this knowledge, awareness, and an effort that we have to put in. It will not come naturally. You will have to make that little purushartha, that effort to recognize that and respect. It's a matter of change of your attitude. So that requires a little bit of sadhana.
The more we think about this, talk about Ishvara, how we bringing in our life all the time, I think that thought will start working on us. I think we keep saying about it every day a little bit. How do we get it in there? I mean, there are so many things we need to do, but this is one of them to incorporate in us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also swakarmana tamabhyarcha. So worshipping him by doing your swakarma.
Right.
Recognizing what your roles, your responsibilities at that point, that situation is or are.
Right.
That is also a form of worship. And then this yajna bhava. Whatever I'm doing, I'm offering it to the divine. This, I think, repeatedly has to come into our awareness. Otherwise, we will end up doing things mechanically.
Bella ji, Percy ji, all of you guys share your thoughts, please. I know you're all valid. Your opinion all matters. Or sorry, your thoughts. And I don't know who else is here today. Vandana, Suma ji.
I feel that whatever karmas we are doing, whether it's household chores or whatever, we do it with a happy and contented frame of mind. Then we are one with everybody, not holding any grudge against anybody. Whether it's a teenager in a house who left his bedroom messy and you're cleaning it up. But when you're cleaning it up, that bhav should be such that, okay, I have to do it because he's not doing it, but with happily doing it, not out of frustration or why doesn't he take the responsibility. Then that would not be karma yoga. Seeing the other as part of you, as one with you. So, like whether it's your teenage child also is part of you. There's no Dwight there. There's oneness. Only when we have that oneness with everybody, then we can be happy and contented. And that is, I think, that oneness is godliness in us, feeling that happiness and contentment. Doing everything willingly with a lot of happiness, not grudgingly at all. Jai Gurudev.
Shall we go to the next sloka, or we wait for a few minutes? I think there's a couple of pages. Okay, I'll read the next sloka, but then again we have a few more minutes. Dr. Brahmara, you want me to start with this next one and then maybe we can finish it out tomorrow. Yada te moha kalilam buddhir vyatirashyati tada kantasi nirvedam shrotvyasya Shrutasya cha yada when te your buddhihi intellect moha kalilam impurity of delusion vyatitarsyati crosses over vyatitar vyatitarsyati crosses over tada then shrotavasyasya for what is to be heard Shrutasya for what has been heard, cha and nirvedam dispassion, kantasi you shall gain. When your intellect crosses over the impurity of delusion, then you shall gain a dispassion towards what has been heard and what is yet to be heard. I'll read this Tatpari once again. When your intellect crosses over the impurity of delusion, then you shall gain a dispassion towards what has been heard and what is yet to be heard. Delusion is the form of absence of discrimination, viveka. The lack of discrimination, aviveka. Delusion is in the form of absence of discrimination, viveka. The lack of discrimination, aviveka, makes a person go towards objects and not towards the self, the Atma. The person's mind goes towards objects as though they are going to take him to the Atma, even though the solution to my problem is myself. I always think of it as being elsewhere, outside of me. There is no greater delusion in this world than wanting a solution to a problem that is centered on the I and expecting the solution to be outside of the I. This great delusion, Mahamoha, is due to lack of understanding of what I am about and what the world can give, what my problem is, what I really want, and so on. The impurity, Kalila, of this delusion is what is given up by discriminating between the Atma and the Anatma. Atma Anatma Viveka. The verse goes on to say that when your mind is no longer under the spell of moha, you gain dispassion, vairagya, with reference to what you have heard and what you have yet to hear. You have heard about a lot of means and ends. These are Shruta. They are all on your list of things to do later. Then there are few more means and ends that you have not yet heard about. They are to be heard later. Shrotavya. Shrotavya. They all come under the heading of Shrotavya when you think, I think I should read this and find out. Dispassion towards what you have heard and will hear extends also to everything that is known to you. Such dispassion is really very beautiful.
Jai Gurudev. I think we'll
Yeah.
stop here today.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
tomorrow we'll start from verse
52.
52. Yeah, we'll go from 52 downwards. And thank you, Percy ji, for that wonderful sharing. It's a new, nice way of bringing in the aspect of Ishvara. I think once you're content and happy, that itself is worshipping. Right. So
we do the sloka?
yeah. You want to say the Shanti part? Whoever is doing it may want to go ahead. I'll share the meditation.
Okay. Sarve bhavantu sukhinaha. Sarve santu niramayaha. Sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Jai Gurudev.
Meditation is accepting this moment, living every moment totally with depth. Let us keep our spine erect. and body relaxed and eyes closed. Relax your shoulders. Keep a big smile on your face. You're sitting like the statue of Buddha, very serene and with a serene smile on your face. Relax your body. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Become aware of your chest region, throat and chest region. If you notice some tension in the body, just let it be. Except those parts of the body where you feel a tension, the other parts are in comfort. Other parts are at peace. Become aware of that also. There are many good things about you and inside of you. Acknowledge them. They will never leave you. And the negative aspect you may see in you is never going to stay with you forever. They are all guests for some time. Let them be. Sit with the total acceptance of yourself the way you are at this very moment. Total acceptance of what is now here will lead us to deeper meditation. Let go of all the effort. Shanti, Shanti. Let go of all your effort and be in this emptiness. And slowly and gradually become aware of body and surroundings. And you may gently open your eyes.